What's good everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zamir from XCC Tunes. In this video I'm going to share 5 more beat making or music production tips for you guys. By the way, if this is your first time here, please make sure to smash the like button, share this video and subscribe to the channel. Alright, so without further ado, let's jump right in. So the first one is I'm going to talk about the independent loop function. This is a very useful feature, especially when you want to audition sound. Alright, so I've made a simple beat here and it sounds like this. Alright, so I have this bass line and a hi-hat pattern, and I've actually duplicated all the the kick and the snare because I want the kick and snare to sound like this. However, I don't know whether I want to use the same bass pattern, same hi-hat pattern for this beat. What I usually do is, let's say I have this pattern of the bass that sounds like this. Let me solo this. Right, so I'm going to show you guys how to use independent track loop to audition pattern and sounds. Right, if you can't see the independent loop button here, all you have to do is just right click on the empty area here and look for independent track loop. Right, so you can just enable it here. So once you have this button available, just click on this independent track loop, and now it's going to give you this blue color range that you can actually select. All right, so you can have it like 1 bar, 2 bar, depending on what kind of pattern that you want to arrange. So I'm gonna go here, and let's say I have this pattern here, this this bass pattern. I have 2 bars of bass, and I want to just audition the first pattern, which is this 3 notes here, right? And I want this pattern to play, let's say from the 8th, or let's say from the 9th bar, right? I'm going to put the playhead on the 9th bar, and I'm going to set this to 1 bar. So when I hit play now, watch what happens when I hit play now. Okay, so that sounds good. So let's try to audition the other sound, which is the second beat. Let's play from the 9th bar. So let's play from here, 9th bar. It's kind of cool actually. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna use this pattern though. So that's how I use independent track loop. It's very useful, and I can use it with hi-hat as well. So let's say I want to audition the first hi-hat pattern here. I want the hi-hat pattern to play from the 9th bar again. Right, if you notice, the bass is not playing anymore because I have to make sure that I have a click on it and it's available in the lower key editor. So if it's not here, so if you don't have it highlighted, it's not going to play the pattern. You know what I mean? And the best part about independent track loop is not only for MIDI, it's also available for audio track. I've already enabled the track loop here, right? If it's not available, you can just right click and select the independent track loop here. So now I can select this bar, maybe from the 10th bar. Or I can audition this one. Nope, let's go from here. Or I can also have like an odd sound, from there. It's kind of cool though. Let's try from here. It's interesting. So you see, I can actually come up with a lot of different style of arrangement. So with this independent track loop, actually you can do quite a lot of things, and you don't have to necessarily copy and paste and then cut these parts to audition the sound, right? So that's the first tip for today, guys. So let's go ahead and check out the second tip. And the second tip is going to be about rendering a mono audio track. So usually what happens is when you have a mono track, let me just quickly record something about this. subscribe to my channel. Okay, now that's how I rap. And I have this audio track, which is a mono track. So it sounds like this. Subscribe to my channel. Right, so this is how the audio track sounds like. So this is a mono track, and if I render this one real quick, okay, 48, yeah, let's just use the MP3s for now. I'm gonna create an audio track. I'm gonna export this. Oh, sorry about that. Select the range and export it. Okay, if you render this, you can see that it is actually a mono audio track. Subscribe to my channel. However, it's actually in a stereo file, right? But if you want to render this one as a mono track, so this is how you can do it. Go to export, okay? And now what you're gonna do is you're gonna just select the multiple, right? Uncheck stereo out because we don't want the whole track. We just want one track, which is the audio right here. And I'm gonna go and change the effects here. Click on it, go to disable, which means dry. Okay, so we're gonna render the dry signal of this audio track. So now let's export it real quick. Okay, now you can see that this audio track is now being rendered, but in audio in a mono format, in a mono file. Okay, so that's useful. Sometimes I want to render the audio in a mono track instead of stereo track. But even though this one do sound mono, I prefer to have it rendered this way though. So that's the second tip. So let's move on to the third tip now. Okay, so the third tip is to send audio to a multiple group tracks. Okay, so for instance, let's say I have a couple of audio tracks here and I wanted to send to a couple of different group tracks, right? So now when I go to this audio track, I'm sending it to a stereo out, right? So there's no buzz. So let's go ahead and add a group track to this channel. Let's say it's a vocal. Okay, so vocal. So it's a vocal track. The audio track is now being assigned to the vocal group, right? Cool. But if I want to send it to a couple of different group tracks, let me add 2 more group tracks real quick. Let's say this is a bass and another one a drum. Okay, I don't know why I want to send it though, but in case if you want to do it, this is how we do it. So I have this audio track assigned to the vocal. If I want to send this audio to a different group, I can use the send. So I'm going to click on this and go to bass, right? I can enable this bass, all right? And if you do it this way, you have an option to send how much you want to that group track, right? So we have bass and we have drums. You can use this way, which gives you a little bit more control. But if you want to just send all of the track to a couple of different group tracks, then you can use the direct routing. Okay, I'm gonna go to Mix Console. If you haven't enabled the direct routing yet, you can actually go here and click on this button and go to direct routing. Okay, this is where you can see this option here to direct routing. So now I was actually using the this audio track, right? So I wanted to send it to bass and the drum. So you can see I selected both of these bus here. However, here's the thing. I can only select one of it, right? But if I want to send it to all 3 of these group, I have to go here. I have to go here and select direct routing summing mode on. All right, so now that I've already selected that the summing mode is on, now I can actually send this audio track to all 3 of this bus, the group bus, right? So if you click on this, it's gonna disable it, and you can enable it like so as well. Okay, but the problem with this direct routing is that you don't have a control like how much of this track you want to send to these group track. All right, and if you want to remove the bus, you can just press Control and click, and it will remove automatically. Okay, so that's really cool. I really like using this method if I need to send the track to a multiple group track. Okay, so that's the third tip for today. Okay, let's go to the project window. So another thing that I like to share is these channel settings. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and name them real quick. So let's say this is a kick, this is a snare. Let's go. Okay, let's have this as a hook, for instance, and this is a hi-hat and a bass. Okay, so I've named all of them, right? So if let's say I've already opened the channel settings, right? I want to just have this window open. I don't want to use the channel tab. I only want to use the channel settings. So if let's say I'm working on a bass track now, I'm mixing this, you know, all the EQ and all this channel strip done, right? If I want to work on a different track, let's say I want to go to a bass group, right? This is the channel settings for the group, right? Group track. It's not the individual track. I like to actually have this channel settings open and then do all the necessary editing or mixing needed, right? And I can just go quickly and jump to a different track, right? You can use the arrow key to go up and down. You know, you have to enable this feature in preference. If you want to know how to do it, you guys can check out my preference settings video, which I will link in the description. Or I like to use this arrow key as well. Okay, so I can just go to the next track up and down like this, and also I can search the tracks right here. So I don't have to go here at all. I can do all of it in just using the channel settings. That's one of the important things that I like to do, because when I'm mixing, I don't want to move my mouse, you know, far left, far right and all that. I like to just disable the channel tab and work on using these channel settings, and you know, pretty much just use the mouse to move around within this area only, right? So I can just focus on mixing, and everything that I need is within this channel setting. So that is why mixing in Cubase is so powerful. Okay, so another thing, you can actually also check out the output of this audio track. So right now the bass is being sent to stereo out, not to the group. So let's send it to the bass group. Okay, so if I want to send this bass track to a different group, go to the mix window. I'm going to go to a different bus as well. Okay, enable all of them. Okay, and I'm going to go to the channel settings again. So now you can see this bass. You can see that there are 3 targets, right? We have vocal, bass and drums being assigned to. So this one audio track is now being assigned or sent to 3 different targets. And the targets is, you can actually see it here. So if you want more information about where is this being sent to, you can come and click on this button here. So now the 3 targets. So one is the bass, drums and vocals. So that is how you can actually just use the channel settings. So that's the 4th tip for today, which is to use the channel settings in a more efficient way, especially when you're mixing. Okay, the last one is a very simple tip that I think most of you guys know, but I still want to add in this video because I've been getting a lot of questions about this, where I made a video before the preference settings that you need to change. So if you're using Cubase 12 or earlier version, you need to go to edit, go to preference, and I believe it's under transport. Where is it? Yeah, under transport you have this option where you can change, which is return to start position on stop, right? From Cubase 13 onwards, it's not available in preference anymore. So you have to go to transport bar and go to start more, and then you can actually set the features here. So actually assign a key command to these features. If I want to turn it off real quick, I can actually use the key command to turn it off. Okay, but I don't usually turn that off though. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you guys find value in this video. If you guys did, please make sure to subscribe, turn on notification, smash the like button and share this video to everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.